Hi everyone, I'm back today with a column I wrote in November 1985. I called it then A Short Story. Be good, Kari. When Bob and I first introduced me to his parents some 14 years ago, he really never introduced me. This is Mom and this is my dad. I tried giving Bob the I and silently asked, "What are their first names, darling?" But we hadn't been together long enough to develop our ESP. So I sat at the kitchen table and smiled sweetly. I spent that first evening avoiding situations where I had to address either one by name. I don't know if I looked dumb, but I sure felt dumb, and that's not the best feeling when you're out to make a good first impression. Later, when Bob was driving me home, I asked, "What should I call your mom?" "Well, you could call her by her name," he said. "Charlotte." "Thanks. Well, what about your dad?" "Well, his given name is Elmer, but don't call him that. He doesn't like the name Elmer. Just call him what everyone else calls him. Shorty." "Shorty? I can't call your dad Shorty." "Well, you can't call him Elmer either, so I guess you'd better not call him anything at all." I already tried that, but it didn't work. How in the world was I ever going to face his dad again? At that time, Bob and I weren't engaged or anything, but we were heading in that general direction. Could I possibly force myself to call Bob's dad Shorty? I practiced when I was alone. "Hi, Shorty." "Nice day, Shorty." "Shorty, please pass the butter." But it never sounded proper. Shorty, Elmer, Mr. Manzke, he was a grown man, and he definitely wasn't shorter than me. What was I going to do? One day would come the time when I had to address Shorty. It was inevitable. How would I survive? I did my best to avoid using the nickname. When I wanted his attention, I waited until I had eye contact before I spoke. If I needed the butter, I waited until someone with a real first name had it, or I went without. Finally, the day came when I had to use the name. Charlotte asked me to call Shorty in from the machine shop for supper. I waved my hand and called, "Supper!" several times. He continued adjusting the throttle on the tractor, revving the engine. Finally, I yelled, "Shorty, supper!" He waved back and turned the tractor off. The first barrier was reached and passed, but the name didn't come automatic to me. For months, maybe even years, every time I used the nickname, it kind of caught in my throat. Now, after 12 years of marriage, the name doesn't catch at all. But of course, the nickname has changed with the passage of time. Now it's Grandpa Shorty. Yes, that is how I first met Bob's parents and had to learn how to talk and use the nickname. Shorty's siblings all had nicknames, and I almost could put one with the other, but that's a different story. I hope you have a good day and that you come back again when I'm not so windblown and enjoy another column with me. Until then,